Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and thank you so much to our witnesses for being here today. This hearing is a very timely one, and so I'm grateful for your testimony and the answers to our questions. Across Central Virginia, I have heard from dairy farmers, cattlemen, livestock producers, small business owners, and families trying to buy a gallon of milk, and about the challenges that they are facing in day-to-day related to so many of the disruptions that we've seen in the supply chain. One way that we know we can reduce supply chain bottlenecks is by supporting free and fair trade policies that protect American workers and businesses and reduce the barriers of the flow of goods across the globe. That's why I was proud to work alongside my House colleagues and the former administration to help secure bipartisan support ultimately for the passage of the USMCA last Congress. And so as this deal continues to be implemented, I want to make sure that we're working to confirm that all parties are upholding their end of the deal. And to that end, Mr. Van der Woode, I would ask a question of you first. Central Virginia is home to many dairy farms, and certainly they are facing significant challenges as the industry is across the board. And I share your concerns related to the enforcement of the dairy provisions in that deal. And so my question for you is, what more could Congress be doing to support the industry and ensure that all parties live up to their commitments in that deal?
Yeah, thank you for the question. The decision to doesn't have a big impact, but for my counterparts in the Northeast and the Upper Midwest, it's a big deal. We strongly support the dispute settlement process, and we appreciate the bipartisan congressional backing that ultimately led to that step. It's not only the enforcement area that we need to see action on, though. For instance, in Mexico, overly burdensome regulatory proposals threaten to disrupt trade. In Colombia, they're weighing imposing higher tariffs that would derail our free trade agreement on milk powder exports. So this happens not just with Canada and Mexico, it's happening all over the place. And we appreciate the support we've gotten from the USTR office thus far, but we continue to need not only support, but action.
Thank you for that, and certainly I would love to follow up in the future if there's any other priorities or suggestions that your organization have into the future. I do have a second question for you and ultimately for Ms. Sorensen. As Mr. Van der Woode, in your testimony, you mentioned supply chain challenges and the need to pass the Ocean Shipping Reform Act. I am proud to co-sponsor this bill. I believe, and I think broadly people agree, that it will do a lot to reduce port congestion. But beyond this bill, are there other actions that you would suggest that Congress be attuned to, or actions that Congress should be taking to contend with these supply chain bottlenecks? And Ms. Sorensen, I would love to have your opinion on this question as well.
Yeah, so there are some things that the administration is considering, such as extending the truck drivers.
Sir, you paused for a moment. We heard extending.
Oh, that's all you got, huh? Okay, sorry, I'm on a hotel Wi-Fi, so extending the hours of operation for truck drivers.
Okay.
Extending the age limit for truck drivers down to 18, if possible. Extending weight limits.
Good from our infrastructure bill passage.
Okay.
In that pilot program. Yep.
Yes. Weight limits. And just a lot of, and then here in California, we also have environmental restrictions that at our ports that maybe could just be loosened for a little while, as we have lost access to a lot of equipment due to cancellations and that sort of stuff. We've had 60% cancellations in the last month. We are the largest exporter of milk powders in the world, and 60% of our loads got canceled last month, which strands equipment. So we've run out of people and equipment to export the products that we need to export.
Wow. Okay, thank you. Ms. Sorensen?
Yes, thank you for the question. The supply chain disruptions, in particular the ports, are of grave concern to us. We do not want to be potentially viewed as unreliable trading partners. Trading relationships take a long time to form, and we want to deliver a product that has been ordered. So when we're shipping chilled pork, we do not want to have to freeze it down because of a backlog at the ports. I think it goes well beyond the port issues as well. We're also seeing labor challenges throughout our farms, our packing industry, and transportation. And we continue to ask members of Congress for an H-2A program that allows for year-round uncapped labor. So the challenges definitely extend beyond the ports through the entire food supply chain.
Thank you so much. And Mr. Chairman, thank you for letting me go over a little bit. Thank you to our witnesses, and certainly Ms. Sorensen, I hear you loud and clear on the H-2A visa portion. I think many of us on this committee were strong supporters of the Farm Workforce Modernization Act, and will continue to advocate for that bill's passage into the future. So thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.